What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. I go by the name of Myron of James Media, and today we're going to talk about the Viltrox 23mm F1.4. Okay, this is not a full review. This is only my first impressions of this lens. But before we get into it, let me show you the image quality of it. Roll that B-roll. Okay, now the first thing I want to talk about is the lens hood. It's fully metal. It's only a two-piece lens hood. It actually feels great in the hand. And I actually feel like this will really protect your lens if you knock it against a wall or a tree or anything like that. Next thing I want to talk about is the build quality. This thing is built like a tank. It feels so good in the hand. It's all metal. It's nothing cheap about it. Only thing about this lens that I don't like is that it's not wet to seal. Other than that, I give this lens a 10 out of 10. Now the aperture ring, a lot of people don't like because it's clickless. Now if you take it all the way to f16 to aperture priority and beyond that, it will click, but it's only like 1 or 2 clicks. If you go along just the aperture numbers by itself, the lens itself is actually pretty silent, and that works beautifully for a videographer. Because let's say you have a scene that you're shooting and you need to change your aperture to get the right exposure. Your microphone would not pick up that clicks like you would get from a regular Fuji lens or maybe even a Canon lens or a Sony lens. That if they have an aperture ring and you just move it around, you'll hear, I don't know, click, 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 something like that. I enjoy the silent aperture ring. I don't know about you, but I like it. Another thing I really like is the focus ring. Now I know a lot of people don't like focus by wire, but to me this feels really nice in the hand. It feels so smooth. Maybe it feels like a cinema lens, to be honest. I love that Viltrox came out with this lens and made it a 1.4 because I was always interested in the 23mm for the Fuji because I love shooting at the 35 focal length. Now to be accurate, this is 34.5 for anybody out there that really want to be super accurate about the focal length of the full frame equivalent. But for argument's sake, we're gonna say it's a 35mm. Now, what will I use this lens for? Event photography, landscape photos. I will also use this lens to shoot short films. The 35mm focal length is perfect for doing short films, especially when you have to do a lot of B-roll, because this is considered a lifestyle focal length, and it's not too wide, it's not too narrow, it works beautifully. Okay guys, so I will be doing a comparison with this lens versus the 23mm f2 from Fuji. We'll be doing a test for sharpness, aperture, bokeh, and the overall image quality. Another thing I want to mention about this lens is that it focuses fast. I mean super fast. It's probably on par with the f2 versions of Fuji lenses, or probably even faster. And the autofocus motor in this thing is amazingly quiet. Now you can't get super close to your subject when you're shooting with this lens, at least using autofocus. You'll have to switch over to manual focus. And I know that because a lot of those scenes that you saw in that B-roll was actually shot manual focus. Only a few was shot using autofocus, but honestly, I learned how to manual focus before I even owned my own cameras. Okay, now who is this lens for? Everybody. If you do not want to spend the $900 for the Fuji counterpart of this lens, this is a great option right here. I only spent like $330 for it. I love the image quality coming out of it. I love the smaller form factor. I love that it's a 1.4 aperture because I love shooting at 1.4 because it gives me an extra stop of light when I'm shooting in low light situations, like if I'm shooting at night, which I'm gonna start doing since we're starting to reopen the state of Michigan again. And it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun using this lens and really putting it through its paces. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Now what I want for you to do is smash that like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I upload new content. Hope you're staying safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.